Hey guys, hope life has been treating you well. Welcome to another Frontier Indica video. Today we're going to talk about an extremely politically incorrect subject, traditional gender roles. You know, the same thing blue-haired feminists tell you is a vile symbol of oppressive patriarchy. The same norms which we are brainwashed and shamed into seeing as backward and regressive. The histrionics and propaganda of the left aside, traditional gender norms are actually very critical to the success of any civilization or nation or tribe. They form the very bedrock on which a prosperous, productive, and confident culture is built. Now, the feminists aren't exactly wrong when they link traditional gender roles with a patriarchal social system, but that simply means that men are expected to be providers and protectors. They're supposed to earn an income to support their family, and they're supposed to defend the wife and children from any sort of harm. And on the other hand, in such a system, women are meant to be nurturers and homemakers. They're supposed to take care of their children and manage the day-to-day running of a household. Roughly speaking, this is still how most families in India run. If we go by the labor force participation rate for women, for example, that's only at about 23%, while for men it stands at 76%, showing that traditional gender roles are still quite the norm. But this is not how things have turned out in the advanced economies of the world, particularly in Western countries, where the labor force participation rate of women generally tends to range from 50 to 60%. But labor force participation rates are not the only indicator of the breakdown of traditional gender roles. Sky-high divorce rates, massive numbers of out-of-wedlock births, and an epidemic of single mothers. All of these point to the fact that civilization-wide breakdown is currently taking place in the West. This complete collapse of the family unit may seem like something impossible to be repeated in India, something which is too far-fetched to happen in our conservative country, but unfortunately that's not how things are really playing out. Our government and society are so blind to this threat that its precursor, the ideology of radical feminism, is allowed to freely propagate its toxic ideas without so much as even an intellectual response. Instead, all their claims, even ones which go against basic biology, are taken at face value, and in fact, the state actively fosters the idea that female and male representation should be equal everywhere, notwithstanding the natural truth that our ancestors have known for thousands of years, that most women find contentment and satisfaction in taking care of their children and their households, not in wage slaving for some faceless corporation. We have seen time and again that every country, every civilization that discards traditional gender roles stops producing enough children to keep growing, and its borders collapse because the menfolk lose all notions of honor and chivalry. In fact, its women even welcome the invaders to replace the decadence of their society with masculine vigor once again. Only the strong shoulders of the family unit can bear the humongous weight of carrying forward any kind of high culture. The atomized individual is too defenseless and disorganized to protect the community from the endless greed of its internal robber barons and the ceaseless battering rams of the enemy hordes at the gates. Looking specifically at India, our country still has a long way to go before it can enter another golden age. But we won't really get that far if both men and women are utterly confused about their duties to the community and nation. The false delusions of postmodernism are the last thing we need if we want to achieve a civilizational revival. That being said, we'll wrap this video up, guys. If you have something to say which will supplement the discussion, or even if you disagreed with any given point, do comment about that below. For those who are new, please subscribe to the channel. We'll keep bringing more interesting and offbeat videos like this to you in the future.